Yeah, so be a little bit left. You'd be able to cut that off if you were facing the right wall. You'd be good. Here too, right? You got to think about what is like something in your control, right? So the ball just got hit past you. You're starting to head back on defense, right? Heading back here. This guy's pushing the ball. You're not going to be able to stop him. Your teammate is somewhere over here. I don't know what the hell he's doing, but I think he's trying to stop the ball. What you can do, though, the most threatening thing on the field is this guy right here, the shooter. Because if that ball does go center, I don't expect this guy to shoot it. I really expect this guy to shoot it, if anything. So you can just focus, like take your attention off of this play right here. Focus on getting the demo on your way back. And if this guy happens to be in your path, great, you demo him. If he swerves out of the way, it's okay. You just go back on defense anyway. So he's in your path anyway. Might as well demo him, right? But you're really, I could just see from your camera that your eyes are so focused on this play going on right here and not the real play, which is this guy right here. So just kind of like switching vision to the things you can control rather than the things you can't. So ball gets hit centered, and the defender or the offender wasn't in position to shoot it, which is great for us. And then we were able to get the clear, fortunately. So nice. Focus on getting those boost pads because even though you have 87 boosts when you hit the ball here, right? You start boosting and you're supersonic the entire time and using boost. So from the moment right here, you're supersonic at 63 boost. Any boost used after this point is a waste of boost, right? So you went from 63 to 3. Because you understand, right, that if you're using boosted supersonic, you're not actually going any faster, that you're actually at the same speed the entire time. So if you cut the boost, you're going to maintain supersonic the entire time. So you'd have 63 boosts and at the same speed versus right now you have 43. Will this 20 boost matter? I mean, we'll see, right? Like if you have to go back and you can't get all the boost pads you need and you need to go for an aerial and you needed 20 more boosts, then yeah, it did matter, right? So it's always good to keep yourself as efficient as possible on those boost pads. So going back here, you hit the ball. We grabbed that boost pad. We also missed those two other boost pads. So not only did we waste 20 by going using boost supersonic, but we also missed 24 boost by not pathing onto those boost pads as well. So the opportunity cost really is that we could have had 44 more boosts than what we have right now. So turn this 43 into 87, and that's kind of a huge difference, right, in our plays. So just those little things do matter in the long run, especially when you're thinking of everything. So again, we're using all that boost, right? And now we have. Mhm, mhm. Yeah, it's something that people don't really pay attention to. It's I don't know. It's not really a tutorial thing kind of thing. It's more of like you play the game, you kind of get a feel for things, but it is skipped over by a lot of people because oh, you will see. Do you know what ballchasing.gg is or ballchasing.com is on the internet? Okay, so it's basically like this stat tracking website. Actually, here's an interesting little thing. Let me chasing not it's not GG, it's ballchasing.com. So what you can do is you go to this website, ballchasing.com, right? And you got all your stuff here, whatever. Let's go to File Explorer, go to Demos, and your replay was which one? Oh my gosh, hold on. I can't remember exactly what the time was on it, but oh, it was probably the 626 replays that you sent me. So I'm going to drag the replay we're looking at right now into where is it replays here? And then you know what? I think you have to log in and whatnot. But basically, you can like upload your replays, right? I'm gonna log into my Steam real quick. Where is it? Replays, and we're just gonna go to a random person's replay. So basically, like you can click on this, right? And you'll go into your replay and whatnot, and it gives you all the stats going on in the games, right? So you can look at your ball, like how much you touch the ball and whatnot. You can look at your team boost, right? Like boost management for players. So here are all the players using up their boost during it. So this is the overviews of boost per minute, average boost. The big stat though is amount while used while supersonic, right? In a really like good lobby, you'll see that like the boost used per like at Supersonic is around like 200-ish or so, because people are using that while turning to maintain supersonic speed. At really low ranks, though, you'll start seeing that these people will use like 700 boost at supersonic or like 800 boost. And one of my students actually had 1100 boost used while at supersonic, and this is all boost wasted here. So if you're not using it to maintain your speed and you're just using it to try to get faster, it is boost being wasted. So really cool website that you can mess around with. I forget like how to upload replays and all that, but you can do that with your own replays on here. And they've got a billion different stats and heat maps and whatnot of like where your car's been on the field. So definitely check this out. It's a cool resource to use. So I'll just link this to you real quick. But there you go. So yeah, you can upload your replays there, look at all your statistics, and you can even pull up pros like Garrett G, like their replays, and or Torsos, and like Torsos's boost management is actually like insane compared to other players. It's just his mechanics aren't as great as like the EU and NA pros right now. But yeah, definitely check that out and compare your stats to other people. Really fascinating stuff. Anyway, going back to the replay, right? We're at this point, so we have very low boost because we wasted all of our boost going at supersonic. We weren't listening. Like this was an opportunity for us to actually dodge a demo, because you can't hear because I'm sharing screen, but what ends up happening is I can hear that there's a car coming from the right, from the back right side. Not only that, though, that I can hear that in my peripheral, but I already know that I'm going to get demoed because what just happened earlier on this play, right? Like we went, pushed the ball into the corner, and then this dude tried to fight for the ball and went up the wall and up the corner. So we know that there's an orange guy behind us somewhere, right? What we could do is we could click our right stick in and just look backwards for a second and see, okay, look, there's a guy, going for a demo on me. Or we could just instinctually know this guy's going to be heading back, and if he's going at supersonic, he should be coming to me soon. And then because you already have that prepped in your mind, the moment that you hear it in your headphones, that's when you make your jump and jump over the guy and demoing you. So right here is he should be coming in now, and he is. So there he is. Let's put over here. So we should be focusing on getting little boost pads while we're waiting. And cool. So yeah, we have a lot of time. It's good that you're taking your time on this. You don't need to rush it. You should be. So I don't know if this boost is actually up because of the way replays work, but we should be pathing onto boost pads anyway if it's definitely up. So you can knock this off the wall here and just like hope. Let me get the pen back here. There we go. Hope that this boost comes up, right? You want to kind of bring it back to center, right? And bring it over here, and then hope that the boost comes up and path over it anyway, whether it is up or not. So if you happen to get it, then it's 100 boost for free, right? Or well, really 56 boost for free. And if it never comes up, that's fine. You already need to go down midfield anyway to get this towards net, create a threat. So ends up working both ways. That's fine. I mean, like, it's like, it's only fine in the sense of like, you just need to work on your dribbling skills, right? Like with that, like dribbling car control. So there's not really much to talk about. And because he ends up 15 you when you start losing control of the ball. So it's an interesting turn, because I thought you were going to go up the wall here. You started going really well, and then I think might have been worried that the ball might have been too far like off of the wall for you to go up and like reach across. We're gonna like kind of scoop back a little bit though, because we're gonna watch like these two fight, right? And then we can see again, like this guy wants to push the ball this way. Your teammate wants to also score the ball, right? So he also wants to push it generally to the left too. We should be facing our car more to the left, getting ready to go up the wall if necessary, right? So you're going here and you're going diagonally forward though, down the field. Really, we should be turning more left down the field, so that if the ball does get pinched off, we can still go up to the left side of the field. And then let's say the ball just gets stopped in the midfield, right? Like, where's the other orange guy to deflect the ball away? Like he's nowhere at all to be seen. So you can take that like longer time of, you know, like giving more space. Yeah, exactly. So you've moved in really soon when it's not necessary. And now we're a little bit too close to go up the wall comfortably and stop the ball. So if we had been going over here, we could have gone up the wall early, and then right when that ball comes off the corner right here, we can jump off and then hit the ball and get over to center. So Kind of going back though, now that you have committed to going forward, we're going to talk about what happens here. So you're going, and really we should be thinking like, again, you always want to top yourself off on boost. You can start heading yourself back if you're not comfortable taking that kind of hit, and you can path onto the 100 boost going over here, right? We're going to kind of put it above this. So you can start heading like this, or you kind of do this turn right here. And then right when you hit this boost, then you can decide to turn either this way, or if it's really like, I don't know, I think this is the only way really to turn, is like inside like this. So now we look at the play, and it comes across here. You can collect that 100 boost and then come across here, and then pretty much be in the same position, but with more boost, right? And you'd have a little bit more momentum, because for you, you did this drift turn over here and then you stopped like this, right? But in the other play that I was talking about, you're going like this and you're circling like that. So because your angle is wider that you're coming in, your wheels are going to be moving the entire time through here. So you're actually going to be moving faster into your hit, and you're going to meet the ball faster as a result. So you always want to keep your momentum up, and doing circles definitely helps. And that's just an example of where you can implement that. So you put it center. You could have got a little bit lower of a hit, and that would have been better for you. Why a lower hit? Why would a lower hit be better? No, I mean hitting the ball higher up to hit it lower towards the ground. And what would that? So let's kind of like view the play from here, right? You hit the ball here, right? So it hits off of this wall. Yeah, exactly. So. Mhm. Exactly. So what happens is you hit it here, and so it hits very flat, where it goes like this, across, and then down, right? If we hit it a little bit higher on the ball, so it comes down lower, we end up hitting the corner right here, and it pops up and away, up and over and high. What that does, it puts Mitz in a really tough position to try to be basically under the ball this whole time, and he's going to have to aerial up and try to deflect this ball away, which is an incredibly tough save to make for anyone lower than, I would say, Diamond 3 to make. So, or Diamond 2, maybe that's, yeah, around there. So put him in a really tough position. As well, it gives your teammate a lot of time to reach this ball comfortably, because the ball's going to be floating a little bit like that up high and kind of taking it slow. Whereas yours is a line drive coming in really hot. So your teammate has less time to approach the ball as well. So generally. Now we go here. So you're coming back, and I think this is fine. You should be paying attention to the play, though. Once you know where that boost is, you should have ball cam back on to look at the play. It's a high hit. That's fine. The read, you went for it. It's whatever, right? Like, you can make that hit if you do make the read. This is like, what's it called? The recovery was poor, but again, like the aerial you went for was also kind of like an awkward aerial. So I would rather you go for that play and kind of learn off of that than not go for that play. So yeah, here, let's try this. Hold on. I'm gonna change servers real quick, because I actually think this might be more beneficial. Let's see. Okay, can you see it more clearly, like when I'm drawing the pen? Oh, perfect. Okay, let's kind of get it flowing and see if it's still pixelated. Okay, cool. So the ball's going up here, and when it's going up the wall, generally a lot of people have this issue, especially when they're defending on their back wall. So the same principle applies from what I tell people when they're defending back wall is, if the ball's going up high and you're trying to meet the ball up the wall and you're trying to read it, you want to stay low to the ball, actually, because it's really easy for you to go up the wall and get a high clear and hard hit away than it is for you to be high up here and then realize you have to go lower and then start dropping your car down, and then you'll only get bad hits from there, really. So if you're going to go up the wall and try to meet it, you just want to keep staying low until you're certain, like, all right, that's the play, and then you go for it, right? And there, I mean, it's already too high, so backflipping doesn't matter. So he's hitting it. Cool. This could be your ball or could not be your ball, right? So here, what's cluing me in is, the whole time that I'm watching this play, I'm watching all three of these people and how they're moving into the ball, right? So we had this guy. Let's kind of go back a little bit. So And here, your teammate put it off into the corner, which is kind of useless, right? That guy, Hunter Killer, just hit the ball over into the corner and he landed really awkwardly on the play, right? So we can just ignore this guy completely from our vision because he's so far back. Your teammate is still on the wall over here trying to fight, coming backwards away from the play. So if he does hit the ball, he's going to hit it down here, right, over into mid. And then the other guy is trying to push the ball down the field, down the wall, right? So because we can take all of that into account, right? Like we just got to wait for kind of all this to unfold and see exactly where it's going. I think your positioning is fine here, just playing like generally safe. And then the moment that the hit happens, now we got to decide, should we go or shouldn't we go? Your teammate is coming off of this right now, still on the ground, right? So we're going to keep an eye on him as we approach this play. So I think it's good that you're approaching the play right now. The moment that he turns down on the wall, that's where you have to turn your brain into, okay, this guy could interrupt my play. It's not even about like being kind to him, it's that he's being rude to you, right? And so you're going to be thinking to yourself, okay, if I go now, if I continue with my play, he's going to ruin my play. So I'm going to move away from him. He's going to make a hit on the ball, whatever hit it is, whether it's good or bad, right? And I'm going to put myself in a position now that is going to support the play that he's going for. So now he's going here and he's trying to make a hit. If you turn wide instead onto your play, here, so we're going to go like in this angle. So instead you're like turning in and you're going to attack, but instead you see he's coming in, you can bail off of this play and start turning away like this, right? And then you're watching here. So now what this position does is it allows you to go back on offense like this, and it also allows you to cover the defense like that, right? The only areas that you really can't cover are this spot really and this spot over here. And if it's going down the line this way, then you don't really have anything to worry about because it's not going to be a goal. So coming back here on defense, you're just going to collect the ball in your corner anyway, so it's fine. And then if the ball comes over here, your teammate was already in the corner to begin with, so it's still his ball, and he can still fight. So cool. You see how we have like every kind of position covered off of that, and it's all like due to him making that turn. And you think to yourself, okay, if I go now, it's just going to be a mess. So now you turn defensively and you turn wide to the play. Okay, so now we move into this, and then lo and behold, the play gets messed up because everyone collides. So if that, it's going up, and he takes a shot, and it's a goal. Interesting kickoff, but I mean, I guess like if you're experimenting, it's like whatever. Generally low kickoffs, not jumping. Not jumping at all. Like you can go slow into it, and that works really well. But you do need to center yourself into the center of the ball because let me go here. It's like to be square on it, right? So like if I'm making a deflection, I don't know, like what's a good example? Like I can't really think of a good example, but essentially like you do want to be like centered to the ball to get the most surface area to deflect that ball into a favorable 50. Whereas if you keep yourself low, you're leaving yourself open. Like if we just look at this from this angle, right? We put it at 5% speed. Like this guy has all of the surface area on you right now, over you. And all he has to do is slightly lift his car up off the wall or up off the ground. So we can just see, yeah, the surface area that he's covering is so much larger than yours. It's probably like actually this angle is probably the best way to look at it. So you got that covering it, and you've got this covering. Mhm. I mean, that's why I was saying maybe experimenting. Mhm. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no, absolutely. The best way to put it, so we're at 3 minutes right now. I'm gonna remember. The best way to do like slow kickoffs is actually, and let me turn off unlimited boost so you can see. Right, I'll go to your corner like that, right? So if we're going for a kickoff like this, right, you can take it slow just by doing this, flipping like that. And see how I have 20 boost after this kickoff right now? Like that's huge so that when you do jump up, you can break your car too before the hit. and then jump and then hit this ball over to whatever side you want, right? And then right after the play, you have 20 boosts to now like go really fast and hit this ball at supersonic, right? So kind of like a huge difference that that can make just by flipping into your kickoffs. And then if you wanted to slow kickoff, all you got to do is not go as fast in the beginning or just break to right before you hit the ball. Go back here. Go back and launch off a kickoff. And you used 6 boosts there. I mean, there's 6 boosts is not going to carry you really anywhere, so you should save it because like 6 boost doesn't mean that much in the long run when you think about it, except when you aren't allowed to take a lot of boost pads. And so especially be applicable as you keep climbing in rank, where maybe at this level you're able to grab like 6 pads in a row, right? And now you have what would that be? 72 boost, right? So you'd have 72 boost by picking up 6 pads. And with 6 boosts, let's say, that you have extra, that's 78 boost that you have off of that. But as you get to higher rank, people get really boost hungry and like they grab a lot of boosts and they know that you want boosts, so they're stealing your boost as well. And so instead of having 6 boosts at your availability, instead you only have 2, right? And so having only 24 boosts for an aerial is kind of tough. Having 30 boosts is much nicer than having 24 for an aerial. So definitely keeping that 6 boost is really important, or at least being in the habit of keeping 6 boost is really important. Because it's not going to carry you much faster than where you are, but it could save you in an aerial situation. So keep that boost. You should also be pathing onto that boost pad that's in the middle right there too. So that's there's that. And you grab that. That's good. Kind of taking your sweet time right now. You don't really like. You can kind of hustle yourself a little bit. At least get in the position and be ready. So there. Now you path onto that. That's 12. And then you'd have that. So 24, 36, right? And we're hustling back. So we should already be back post at this point by flipping, back to our side. And we should also, right when we hit that boost, be coming across and trying to flip into this one and then cut across here and then go back into back post. So that would be 48 boost plus the 6 boost that you had from the beginning. That's 54 boost. Now we're here, 23 boost. And do we even like, this is one of those things that if we're already in the position, right? I'm going to turn the camera here instead. So now we'd be seeing this, right? And we'd be coming across here. And if we swung wide like this, if we were already in the position and we started coming across this way, we'd be facing forward and we could take ball cam off in the situation and just look down the field and see, oh, look, these two are committing to this play. And we could just shoot this on net, actually, just by popping it over their head, right? And then if we had hustled back and we were already ready and centered. But because we weren't hustled back and ready to be centered and whatnot, we have to hit this ball as soon as possible from the point over here now, right? Which really the only point we have now is just towards that wall, which, better than having it in our own net, but that was a free goal, essentially, that they gave us by both committing. So we're here. We use that boost again. We don't really need to use that boost. We have all the time in the world, right? So a lot of boost management issues going on in this kind of like section of the game. Good 50. I like that. Good challenge. You might as well path on pads while you wait, and this is fine. You can be back this far, and cool. So here, oh yikes. Okay, so I liked you coming across here, but I would have liked like you approaching here is fine, and then right when the ball gets hit here, that's great. And then you come here and you take a really extra wide turn without considering that your teammate is also coming in too. So in the moment right here, I think this is the turning point. So you're coming, this is fine, and you're coming really wide. Are you going to take the shot or not? Because if you are, you should be going in right now. You're not, you're staying wide, that's fine too. And then notice though that this guy's going at supersonic coming right at you, right? Kind of have that in mind too. Like, are you for sure going to win this 50? Because if you are, go for it, right? But if you're like unsure, if you're like, I'm going to just center this into mid, or I'm just trying to win this 50 generally to my team, like if this ball's not going into net, then back off of this play, because this guy again is going to be committing with you And if you don't get the best 50 possible and he completely whiffs on the ball, then it's an open net for them, right? So so that's what ends up happening. And it is an open net, but this dude puts it into the sidewall. I have no idea why. There's an open net there. So he just got like anxious or something. I'm not sure. But yeah. So again, you're like watching everyone on the field. You watch that guy that's coming in supersonic. It looks like he's going for a demo on you, to be honest. And that's where I'd be like, all right, time to back off. Right. And yeah, let him do his thing, whatever, you know. And then they end up messing up really bad. Teammate puts it off into the wall, which not the greatest play, but I guess they back off far enough for you guys to be comfortable. So you're like, I can see you want to push up really bad, but I can see that there's some self control going on where you're like, okay, my teammate's there though. Let me let him, do this. So, mhm. Yeah. Yeah. You're a little bit anxious. You're like, hey, let's get something done, right? Like, yeah, exactly. And well, again, though, you have 2 minutes, right? Like that. If you've ever played ones, you know that like in 2 minutes you could score 15 goals like easily, like off of plays, right? I know that generally like threes, my rule is every 10 seconds a goal can be scored, right? So I think the largest comeback I ever had was 5 goals in 46 seconds or something like that. And it was like 4 kickoff goals in a row, right? And like that's totally possible. You still have all the time in the world, right? Really to make these plays. So let's go back here. I think it's good for you to be in the position you are and you're chilling here. Like again, like why even do you need to push out a net, right? Who's the shooter in this situation? Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, he's in his own side actually. Look at him. He's over here. But yeah, yeah. So that's kind of like a big thing is just noticing that that guy's in the corner. Like, really, why even be worried, right? Kind of figure out why you should be worried. And right now, you see this ball's going in the corner. The only other shooter on the field is this guy, and he's starting to head back into that corner. So even if this ball, let's say, like went up really high and it was a really nice aerial for this guy, and it went center right here, right? You could just catch this ball. You don't even need to go up for an aerial at all because this guy is so far back. So it's just a matter of like taking inventory of that so that you don't have those panicky plays that happen. Additionally, too, if this ball does get like pinched really hard, I think that you still want to be like a little bit more inside like this, right? Because one of the worst feelings is if this ball does get pinched over and you don't react quick enough, and then that ball barely hits off your car and then like goes into the net, right? So just like giving you a little bit more security will be like lining up on this line a little bit more, so that even if this ball does zoom past you and it accidentally hits your car, it ends up being an awesome clear rather than having the possibility of knocking up and being centered for the enemy team. So a little bit of the positioning, it's barely noticeable here, but it does play a factor in like both your confidence of pushing up on plays as well as like the possibility of an own goal. So now we watch this, right, and we take into account that there is no shooter in this play, and we don't even need to like leave net at all. We could just watch this play unfold. And Mitz is now taking this over into center field. You can start pushing out a net here and see like what your teammate's doing. Your teammate's now going to push it over to the right side of the field or try to push it over to the right side of the field. And there it goes. Like your teammate didn't end up pushing it to the right side of the field, but your opponent did. And it doesn't matter because you were already reading that someone was putting it over to the right side of the field. Now that ball goes up high, you can go up for an aerial here and meet this ball. It's going up really high, so you go up, go for an aerial, pinch that ball over and across, and then you land on wall and you can start moving down the field, right? And suddenly you're on offense now because you kept your cool during that play. So Here, I think it's just a matter of reading Mitts that he has the possibility of going up the wall. That was an interesting drift on the wall over there, but doesn't really like matter at all. But it's like I've never really don't really see that often. Nice and close. Oh wow, that is unlucky. I don't even know what to call that. Yeah, not really much to talk about in that play because I mean you do center it. I mean you could be faster at this play. Like I don't really see any pre-flipping from you, but this is plat gameplay, and you don't really see pre-flipping until like Champ 2, I think. Like is like when that starts playing into a factor. So, do you know what like how to pre-flip and what to pre-flip? Like you know how to practice pre-flipping and whatnot. Okay, so you know what the idea of a pre-flip though is, right? Okay, so a pre-flip is basically flipping into a play before like you're even able to make contact with the ball in that moment. So most of the time when you're shooting the ball, you'll flip into the ball right before you hit the ball, right? To get like power. But what some people will do to get a burst of speed to meet the ball quicker is that they'll flip towards the ball and then at the end of their flip when they're coming out of their flip, they hit the ball. So it'll essentially looks like this. We're at 158 on the clock here. Oh, this isn't the. I wish they put the training options in the replay. That would make it so much easier on me. I think the best thing to go. Oh, that'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. Absolutely. No, I definitely think they should be able to do that. But I mean, they haven't even touched like the training modes in forever. So I don't know if they'll ever work on it, but I really hope that they do because these things are outdated in my opinion. Um, uh, Yeah, exactly. So pre-flipping though is essentially like imagine like normally you'd hit the ball like this, right? You let's say hit it, you fly towards it, and then you like you know hit the ball or whatever. Or in this situation, like I hit it and I jump and I flip into it right when I hit the ball, right? Pre-flipping though is where you hit the ball away and then see. Oh shoot, I always hit my stick on accident. So hit the ball away, come over here, and see how I flip before I make contact with the ball, right? And it's more for like a burst of speed than it is like actually like trying to get like the shot off. You know what I'm saying? Right. So you come here and then see how I flip and then, you know, hit it. You can cancel your pre-flip if you want. Um, some people do, some people don't. I like to because it, you know, gets me there faster. But yeah, that's essentially pre-flipping. And I think there's a replay of me taking some shots of pre-flips, and they're just a really useful tool that I think everyone should kind of like. You'll eventually understand that that's just like the you know play. Let me see pre-flip goal. There's like two of them that happen in this game in a row. Or I think it's this one right here. I think I'm that guy. There we go. Um, is it not this one? I don't remember actually. I thought this was. Oh, it's this one right here. I think. Yeah. Okay. So what'll happen here is you see I jump towards the ball, and then to get there faster, you see how I pre-flipped into it. Like I flipped before like the ball was even near me to get that shot. Right. It it, it takes a lot. It takes a lot of practice, right? Actually, so this was the replay that I was actually looking for because this one does have the like actual like it's very like clear what the shot is. So you can see when my car is lined up here that I flip into the ball before I make contact with it to get that burst of speed to meet the ball quicker, right? So that's essentially what I would want to see from you on the play. I think this was another example. Yeah. hmm Right. So we'll go back. Extras. There we go. And we're here. It was 158, right? I think it was 158 that we were at. Okay, so here we go. It's hit there, and then you hit there. Okay, cool. So the ball's going into. So this moment right here is the pre-flip opportunity, right? So you can start boosting into the ball. You can jump to get some height, like your car above, right above the ball. And then right as it's coming across the goal, you flip towards it. And then you would be able to squeeze it right into that corner right there. And then you'd be able to get the ball. And at least, even if this guy's fighting you, see how high up on the ball he is? Like you would push it, if you were square with the ball, you'd actually squeeze it under him and push it towards that corner there because he's so high on the ball. So that's essentially what I'm trying to like get across with the pre-flip. Like you can be faster in this play. It's something that you have to practice, and it's not something that comes necessarily naturally until you have like thousands of hours on the game and thousands of hours or thousands of games even every season of just playing twos and threes, and then you see other people doing it, and then you kind of implement it yourself. So this is an opportunity to do so, and you can squeeze it in, but you're doing it pretty standard right now. Like the play you're doing is really standard, and for what it is, that's what happened, and not the worst thing in the world, but there was an opportunity for us to score there. So hey there, you have time. By the way, again, like this is another situation. Good ball cam, and just right when that guy comes for you, pop it over his head. That's like perfect execution. I literally have told students all week, like to just take your ball cam off, do this right here, and you get free possession. Right? You've done it. Perfect. Here, though, it's the finishing part really that needed help here, right? You have zero boost. This guy is backwards to the play, moving into his own net. You have all the time in the world right now to take this shot. So what you can do is you can actually take a little bit more time to swing wider than we have to go a little bit back actually. But you take a little bit of time to swing wide to hit that 12 boost that's right here, actually. Just path over this way and immediately go for it. And then with that 12 boost, you can boost into the ball and take a shot wherever you want. But now, we take the top before. There's like so much that happens in the game, but yeah, you could boil it down to those points, right? And it's totally like, yeah, exactly. So those decisions change, you can win this game, right? There's a lot that can happen in every game, so that's why I like to break down everything. But yeah, it's just a matter of like keeping your cool and really understanding like what's actually threatening you on the field. So yeah, and pretty much right now it's all been pretty standard like stuff. Shadowing was a little bit scary there because you were so like forward facing at him. You were like facing this way and you want to go forward down the field, but then you're like, oh no, wait, I see that this guy's gonna beat me. So you're still facing forward. You're not on defense still, right? And you're facing forward, but Orange still has the play. And then by the time he hits it, now you're barely turning sideways and the ball's coming at you. So, how can we blame you for, not I mean, you can still jump and backflip here, and you'd actually hit it off to the sidewall. So, I mean, it could work, but you let it go by, and that's fine too because it's not even a threat. So that's nice. You don't need to hit this hard either because again, like, is anyone chasing you? Like, we don't know. We're just kind of going. Yeah, hustle again over to the 100 boost because you know where the 100 boost is, and you know where the ball's going to go. Oh, speed flips, the one where you uh Oh, as a flip cancel, right? Like or no, they call them no flips, I think. Some people call them no flips, but no flips is the freestyle. Oh, wave dash. Oh, wave dash. Hmm. Yeah, absolutely. So here, you're just watching your teammate passes it here. This is a shot opportunity, but you have to be quick. You can't take your time on this because they do have a goalie, and if he does get a deflection, it's going right over your head, and then it's gonna be tough to make one last play. Is your teammate? And your teammate like takes it really weird. Oh well, he could have taken it up the wall and actually like air dribbled, but whatever. Um, yeah, I mean, when it comes to general mechanics, yeah, you can practice those things. So let me go into here. If you want to wave dash, you can just practice wave dashing. I originally practiced wave dashing on walls, or so I came from a wall, just came down here, and then just try to like wave dash. Then once you're, huh? Oh yeah, absolutely. Because what happens is no, because what happens is like the see how I can get supersonic off of that speed right there, off of just like coming here, doing that. It's essentially like I all the runway that I have now off of the how do I put it like in a way that like so when I jump off this and I wave dash and I flip, I go to supersonic speed, and by the time I land, I have all of this space to move wherever I want on the field, right? But in another situation where I'm back here and I'm choosing to flip, right? I'm going like this, that's where I land. I have no runway now to like make a different play, right? Yeah. So that's where like really the advantage comes from wave dashing is just the how much speed you can pick up from two flips in a row. It basically gives you two flips in a row um, of speed. While as if you just come off the wall here and you go like this, I mean, well, I end up hitting supersonic because I had a lot of speed from here. But let's say you get stopped on the wall like this, right? You could, come across and now I'm at supersonic, right? Or if I'm stuck on the wall here, right, and I try to come down, I'm gonna land like here, right? And much less runway than if I landed over here, and then now I can move wherever I want. I can even go to this corner boost, right? While on the other play where I land over here, I don't really have the option of getting the corner boost without ruining my positioning. So just leaves you a lot more options. And then yeah, the I you weren't talking about like canceling your flip into shots though. Okay, so yeah, that'd be the main thing though. You can practice wave dashing just by coming off of walls, and I think that's a really it's a fun thing to do, and it's also like very beneficial. You already know how to half flip, right? Just coming off. So yeah, just practicing that. Yeah, kind of like that moment where you were kind of like frozen up here. If you're ever like not sure and you're trying to like turn or do something weird, you can also just like wave that or half flip like this, and you're already backwards, and now you can go up the wall and make whatever clear you need. But yeah, I think the main thing though is pay more attention to like let's say we have an opponent here and your teammate is here, right? Pay more attention to the guy that's over here that's not in the play, essentially, right? If the ball is like this, pay attention to this guy because this guy will clue you in whether you need to go now or whether you have all the time in the world. Okay. I think those are the main things though from the gameplay I saw. What about you? What do you think? I think both have their upsides and downsides because I've seen threes players complain about twos and I've seen twos players complain about threes. So kind of goes both ways. But I think that the things you learn in twos is how to work with the space when you're given space, right? And you're given space a lot of time in twos. A lot of the time in twos, you're given space. So it allows you to learn how to work with it and how to like maintain possession and like create a really threatening like push by yourself, right? In threes, because you're not given a lot of time, a lot of people don't need to learn that, and so they kind of like can skip over those kind of steps. And then when they finally get put into a position where the correct play is to slow it down, and the wrong play is to push it because there's the enemies are covering every spot. Suddenly, the twos player is going to be really successful because they're going to take their time on that play, right? And they're going to actually push it, down the field properly and whatnot, and maintain a threat on the opponents. And the opposite is true, where threes players know like, okay, I don't have much time with this play because people are coming at me. I need to get rid of this now and put it into a really good spot for my team. Twos players, on the other hand, will still think that they have more time than they actually do, and they'll try to slow it down, and they get the ball knocked off their head, and they get really frustrated because they're like, "Why are these people ball chasing so hard? Like, don't they know I have the ball?" And it's like, yeah, they know you have the ball. They're trying to get the ball off your head, right? So if you understand that as well, you'll know, okay, I need to flick it now, or oh, I can low 50 it. Like you need to take that into account yourself. So there's much faster thinking that the twos player doesn't have to do that happens in threes, and then there's much more methodical thinking that happens in twos that the threes player doesn't really have to think about most of the time. That makes sense? Okay. Yes. if you want to put if you want to put it that way, yeah, I think that's a good way of putting it. Um, mm. Yeah, I mean, you can think of twos and threes are pretty closely related actually too, but it's just that because people usually specialize in one playlist over the other, they never learn about the other side, and so they don't. Their toolkit is very limited when they go into games, and so then they only play their one play style, and then they're like, "Wow, my teammates suck," right? And it's really like you just haven't developed any other tools outside of what you are comfortable with. And so when you do have those opportunities to use those outside tools, you never take that opportunity, and you've wasted like a moment to, basically. Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. It feels like two different. I mean, hey, you'll do right things. You'll do right things in the game. I mean, it's not like the gameplay we went over was 100% wrong at all. Like you had certain pushes where I was like, this is good, and then the moment here is where you messed up, right? So there are turning points, right? It's not just all black and white. It's like there are gray moments, and then there's a threshold that you'll cross where it's like, okay, that's where you went wrong. Hmm. Mm. Yeah. So right. So it's really interesting because Grand Champ is not as good as people. I think that it's not as good as people think it is because these people are just glorified champ threes, right? Like they got the rank, right, and whatever. But they're when you barely hit grand champ, you're still in my mind a champ three, but you finally climbed up to the rank that's like finally there. You're still making the. Oh yeah, I mean, I want there to be a not a like MMR rank. You know what I'm saying for this rank above GC. Like I want there to be a capped limit, like top 200 people or top 500 people get this rank. And so that way that yes, if you're a grand champ, right, like cool and whatnot, you can achieve this higher rank too. And if you do, that's great. But the moment that someone else gets higher MMR than you, they're going to take that rank away from you. So you always have to fight for that spot. And I think that will feed into healthy competition by having it as a capped rank rather than it being this threshold that you have to cross. There's so many GCs that are in the game that are really cocky of themselves and really full when they're making the exact same mistakes as their Champ 3 counterparts. The only difference is that they're a little bit more confident in the plays they go for because they've been at Champ 3 for so long. So um, that's at least my opinion of it. So um, but yeah, I mean, if you look at the leaderboards too, I think you just see like the difference. Where is it? Career, I think, and then league rankings. Yeah, we go to threes, right? To hit grand champion, it's 1515 MMR to get there, and the number 100 player in threes is 2126, right? And this account right now that I'm on, it's a Smurf right now, and I'm at 1645, right? So this like the MMR difference is so insane between someone who's actually really good at the game and a grand champ that it's not even comparable. Like, I'm pretty sure what's your MMR right now? 720 something? I don't know. Something like that. Is somewhere around there. We're about like what is that? A 900 MMR difference from each other, right? there is a between me and the top person in the world, which I'm surprised. Oh, Cypical dropped. That's insane. So 2300 MMR. That's a 700 MMR difference. So I'm only like 200 MMR. Like we're only 200 MMR apart more from each other than I am from the number one player in the world, right? And I'm GC. So me and this guy are both GC, yet I'm 700 MMR away. And you're right now at Plat 1 and I'm GC and we're 900 MMR away. If you were well, I think it has to do with really like how you gain MMR. I think it's a little bit inflated because I it seems like that you aren't punished as hard for being as high of a rank when you lose versus when you win. Um, like it seems like at this rank you can still gain about 6 MMR, and when you lose about 15 MMR, which means you still have to get like a 66% win rate to be at the top, right? Which is pretty insane. But it also allows like if you are really good at this game, you will be at a really high like win rate. So these people end up climbing in rank really consistently, and they'll play with a buddy too that's also a high rank, and they'll win like 80% of the games, and then they'll keep climbing and whatnot. So I think they just need to reshape how much MMR you gain and lose, and like shape it in a way where it does get more punishing as you get to the top rank over here. And they also need to introduce MMR decay because these people that are up here, they could stop playing, and in like let's say the season went on for 4 more months, they could come in at the end of 4 months and they'd still be on the top 100 leaderboards. While other games introduce MMR decay, where it's like, hey, if you don't play for 2 weeks, we're going to start dropping you in rank. So because of that, these people can take breaks from the game, come back, and be totally fine and kick it off just fine. Yeah, but it also is a situation where you need to like incentivize these people to right because there used to be, I don't know like what they've done since like this, but there used to be a time where there would be like the top like 50 people, or like I would say within the top 100, about like I would say like 30 people, 30 to 50 people were Smurf accounts that had in their names like rlboosting.com, which is a really like popular boosting website. And they would just advertise boosting because they would just get to that rank on that Smurf and then they would just camp it there. And there was nothing that Psyonix could do other than ban these people for boosting, right? But they would need evidence of them boosting rather than just advertising this boosting service. So yeah, it gets kind of wild, and it's like, okay, you need to like implement a system where people who are actively and currently playing the game are people that are could be. I mean, I think that it should be a scaling decay where it's like if you don't play for 2 weeks, right, which is a long time to not play Rocket League at that top 100 level. Like these people play all day, every day. They play like the people that I work with that are top 100. They have 140 hours in the last 2 weeks on the game, right? So to not play the game for 2 weeks is a really long time for these people. So if you don't play for 2 weeks, I think that you should lose a little bit of MMR. If you don't play for 3 weeks, lose a little bit more MMR, and then 4 weeks, like we start losing more MMR, and then after that point, it starts scaling like big, where it's like, okay, you haven't been playing for 2 months now, like you're not anywhere close to top 100 now. Like you need to keep playing the game, like if you want to achieve top 100. And I think that would also be fair to the people that are climbing for that fixed rank that I'm talking about, where it's like, hey, there's a capped rank system now. So that's where like people are calling for hard resets and stuff. I don't know exactly what should happen like with like that kind of reset. I think it shouldn't be a soft reset like what we do where I can get GC off of my placements. And I think that's kind of ridiculous that I can do that, right? Even though I am GC, like there's nothing for me to work for at the end, like, at the end of the day, if I'm not going for like top 100 or whatever, what am I supposed to achieve after GC, right? Like, come on. So I do think that there should be a little bit more of a decay than what they are doing, but I also don't think you should set everyone to bronze or silver. I think totally too hectic every season to do that to all the lower ranked players, and it would be unfair to all those people that are casuals right at the game. So I think, yeah, yeah, they had faces tournaments. Hmm. Yeah, I mean they have all these tournaments that are going on, that are like these kind of things where you could join these Rocket League tournaments, and they're just like for fun, whatnot. No, yeah, I mean people are joining these tournaments. So like, for instance, this U.S. West, like this Oceania tournament is going to happen at 8:05 my time, I guess, which right now it's 8:03. So in 2 minutes, this guy's name is Invite Me to Trade, so I don't think he's actually looking to do a tournament. But but like this guy right here is a Twitch streamer, right? Playing on US West tournaments at 8:05. 2 out of 8 people have now. Hmm. Right. I think that, I mean, it's fun to do those tournaments, right? And it's fun to, I think it's a good experience to enter those tournaments as well, because I mean, you're going to see gameplay that's much higher than yours, and you're going to be like, I don't know how to defend that, right? Like at all. Save the replay and watch that game from their perspective so that you could just see how easy it looks from their perspective. It's like you'll see how you look to their screen and you'll be like, why am I even doing that? Right? Like, why am I not going up the wall here? Or like, why am I not trying to challenge this guy? Why am I giving him so much space? You'll start asking yourself these questions where you're like, man, I didn't realize like how much space I give these people like in the midfield, right? And it will help you kind of see really obviously the mistakes that you make in game. Oh yeah. Let me like write down actually. I'm gonna like make notes on our in our DMs right now. So hmm. Hmm. Right. Oh, right. Oh yeah. Like instead of going up the wall, you're if you look at a right triangle, you're taking sides A and B, right? But side C is shorter than A and B combined. So why wouldn't you take, the hypotenuse? Yeah. Hmm. Oh, I'm glad that this stuck with you. Yeah, absolutely. Hmm. Oh no, 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 no. I was listening to you because it's really important stuff actually, and overall, like those are really good things to focus on, and like people have to focus on them their entire time playing this game. So it's not like what you were saying. Are GCs actually good at the game? Those GCs do the same things that you do. They just know how to like fix their mistakes quicker, and they make that mistake less amount of time, but they still make that mistake, right? So your whole goal is to get to a point where even if you do make a mistake, you have the tools to be able to fix it really quickly. And then you'll also be able to get yourself out of those sticky situations when you do end up making a positional error, which is bound to happen no matter what, no matter how good you are. You see it in pro play all the time. They get caught out of position and they get scored on. So, but when it comes to like the overall points, so like paying attention to the most threatening opponent on the field, like a huge one, that was kind of like the key thing that we were missing, so that it helps us stay calm, right, during those plays. Rotating, facing perpendicular to the to opponent's play when on defense. So facing perpendicular to your opponent's play when on defense, that's referring to like, oh, let's say your teammate and an opponent are trying to 50 the ball and you're not sure where it's going to go. Don't face head on at that play, right? Don't like look up and down the field, because if that ball goes up and over your head, you're going to have to take all the time in the world to go back. It'd actually be easier to show you like this. Oh, oops. That's my webcam. You get to see my face. So I know, right? So amazing. I didn't have to. I know, right? So it's kind of like when the field's over here. This is a very poorly drawn field, but there's a goal. There's a goal, right? Whatever. So, oh, really? Okay. Let me see if I can. Let me unshare and reshare again. And then, all right. How does that look now? Do you see it? Okay. Can you click on the eye picture and does that do anything? Okay, perfect. So it's referring to like if your opponent is like on the field here, right? If you, let me go with blue. Blue is probably best, right? If you're facing this way down the field, right, and that ball goes like, past here, like anywhere past this point, you're gonna be really like shit out of luck, right? But if we go here instead, where you're facing this way, right, you can either go back or you can go forward, right? But in this play, you can only go forward. So face perpendicular to your opponent's play when on defense, so that you can go on offense or defense. Leaves you both options, right? And then Mhm. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Um, let's see. Then facing perpendicular to your opponent's play when on defense, and then I think those were like the main things that were happening over and over again in the game that are like the most important to deal with. Other things were like pretty minor, like mechanical mistakes or like aerial mistakes. Oh, big thing. Forgot. Don't use boost at supersonic. There you go. Don't use boost supersonic. Don't waste boost when below 12. So I don't think those messages are sending through right now. I'm not sure why. So hopefully those messages send through. But don't use boost to supersonic. It doesn't make you faster, right? And then don't waste boost when below 12 boost, right? There were those times when you had 6 boost and you used boost to go into other boost pads. Keep that 6 because it's not going to make you much faster, but it will help you get up higher up in the air off of an aerial. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Save boost that's under 12 boost for emergencies only. And those I think are the main things to focus on from the gameplay, and just work on your mechanics generally. Just work on your mechanics. I mean, there's kind of like everything. Yeah. Get good right at the game. Yeah. Play. You just play. This is literally it. When you play, you get good, and then there you go. You've done it. Good job. So yeah. Yeah. Absolutely, man. No, I appreciate it. I appreciate your time too. Definitely always fun. Oh. hmm Awesome. Oh yeah, Ben is your friend that you want to gift him the lesson to, right? hmm Oh shoot, let's see. To my dearest and oldest companion, times have passed. You're a man. You are not a woman. This is factual. I already like it. Today is your birthday. That is also a fact. It's on the internet, so don't deny it. Prove my appreciation, friend. Get you a sweet hat because bitches like hats. I have a receipt. You hate it and don't want it. Want to burn it. Don't take you. You can take care of it, or you can take it. Back and get a sweeter hat, or some underwear. I like this message so far. Reminds me of me and my friends. To be honest, I would also like to gift you something very special. This is the last month professional Rocket League player. I'll organize it and pay for it. You just gotta give me some time. Give me a time. You are free, and I'll book it in. It'll go for an hour, and you only need to show up. A few games saved. Name one. Fuck, I suck. Name the other. I am God of Rocket League. I hope you have a very special night tomorrow. And, all the ladies speak kind words to you. Yeah, you know what? It's whatever. I don't care. As there is going on, happy birthday, Mr. Benorama. Oh, Ben, like, okay, I see Benorama. B. Dickley. Get good. Dude, I love this, man. Such a good, such a good card. Okay. Oh, nice. Oh, wow. So you guys really have it on lockdown then. That's really nice. Oh, damn. hmm Right. Yeah, I wish that it wasn't such a political issue here. Like to like keep up the regulations. So probably be a little bit healthier here if we actually abided by the rules. So yeah, well, that's tough. Yeah, but mm, that's really interesting actually because yeah, the cultural aspect. It's more of a cultural push than it is really like being enforced. Whilst here, people are campaigning to not have to wear masks because it infringes on their rights. So, yeah. No, that's I don't. Well, you see, I'm about as confused as you are. So I'm the kind of person who, if I do need to go out, I'm wearing my mask the whole time, and you can't make me. Yes, 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 and it's pretty frustrating to watch. And so, I mean, I went into an In and Out like this. It's like a burger joint. I'm sure you've heard of it. Where like there's just tons of people in there, but they're keeping their distance, and this guy walks in without a mask, and they tell him like, "Hey, we're not going to serve you like if you don't have a mask," and he starts arguing, and it's like, "Come on, man," like Why? Why you knew coming in here that this was going to happen. You're just doing this as more of a statement, really, than anything else. So, I don't know. People are interesting. So, say uh-huh. But all right, I of course, man, and you're it's Saturday for you, isn't it? So yeah, I'll let you get to your Saturday, and I'm still on my Friday night. So I know, right? I can think about all the fun I will have in probably like a year and a half from now or something. I don't know. Whenever we get rid of it. Yeah. Tipping? I don't think so. I don't think there's tipping at all. Well, I I appreciate that so much. You don't have to do that. I do coaching outside of Gamer Sensei as well for people that like don't want to go through the website for whatever reason, and it's through PayPal. So um, if you feel inclined to tip, you can through PayPal. But it's just hearing you say that is like already like a huge compliment. I know that's why it's an American thing. That's why like anywhere else, like it's like required basically in America to do that. So when uh when I work with EU people and they mention it, I'm like, whoa, like, really? Mhm. Well, that's essentially what it's like in America. Like, just the general guideline is 15%, just for whatever reason, just people do that. But if you get really shitty service, you could just not tip too. So yeah, no, I appreciate that, man. Here, this is that's well, hey, I appreciate it so much, though. It really means a lot. So thank you, and appreciate the support too. I'm really looking forward to working with Ben too, whenever he's. Okay. Mm-hmm. Like it's impossible without a team. Basically, like you can't carry solo queue teammates. Mhm. Yeah, always fun to work with those people because it's like interesting to lead them to the answer. So that's the idea. Is I'm just going to lead him to the answer and be like, hey, look, you have all these options here, right? And he's going to be like, yeah, and that's going to be the end of it. Like it's just there you go. So I have a Twitch. I haven't streamed in a little bit, only because my OBS has been freaking out. So I have to. I've been lazy, uninstalling it and reinstalling it. So, but my Twitch is, I believe, twitch.tv/inframorel. See if that's. Oh, hold on. Is it www to like get it to? Let's try that. I don't know. That doesn't pop up anything. Let's see. Oh, there we go. That's that. Will do. And then you enjoy the rest of your Saturday morning/afternoon. Like, yeah. Mhm. That sounds like a plan. Definitely. All right. You have a good day. You're welcome. Bye bye.